Hi. Okay, before we get started on my reasons for the book, I'd just like to make a few things clear in case no one reads the key that I put at the bottom of each of one of my books in the comment section below. This is how we're going to do the book. This sound, that's how we're going to start every chapter. And this sound is going to be every time we change characters during the chapter, which happens in every single chapter. And lastly, when I talk like this, that is when we're listening to what they're actually thinking and not what they're saying aloud, just so no one's confused on that. If you ever hear anyone's voices making that strange noise, that's what they're thinking, not what they're saying out loud. Okay, this is just a prelude to the upcoming book and my reasons for narrating this book. For fans of the Resident Evil series, I am like a few of you, I know. I'm a veteran. Yeah, I've been a fan since the very beginning. I played Resident Evil 1 when I was far too young in my cousin's house, when he wasn't playing it of course, which wasn't very often. Otherwise I would hide behind his chair and watch him struggle through it. The original for the Sony PlayStation 1 was very hard. I didn't want to, in my opinion, put this big part in the book because it isn't part of the narration of the book. So this is why I've just kept all of this separate. For some of you who've been waiting a long time, I had serious problems with microphones, going through 3 of them to make this book alone. Sorry it took so long. To give any real updates, I managed to finally finish the book with what is called an iGoku 10, which is what I'm using right now. So hats off to the people who make the iGoku 10 microphone. It's been brilliant. I own none of the accolades for this book at all. It was written by S.D. Perry, based on the best-selling survival horror series Resident Evil by Capcom, and directed by Shinji Mikami. They're the ones who deserve the respect here. It's an excellent series. So please go out and try them yourself if you haven't already, and I know a lot of you fans already have. Right, this might not be obvious, so I really wanted to explain this, and it's going to be hard for me, but I'm going to try. I don't know if my book alone was a misprint, because it seems to have a lot of grammatical errors or general spelling mistakes, making it hard for a lowly amateur like me to narrate at all. However, I think I've come up with an explanation. It needs to be stressed that the author probably wrote this book for the Americas and Americans and Canadians due to the really big fan base out there. I am English, surprise surprise, and the way the English and the Americans pronounce the same words is a lot different. Because of me being English and the language itself being English, I pronounce the words in the book my way, not the American way, and maybe that is why I thought there were mistakes in it. Maybe the USA even spell our words differently, but I'd like to assure you that I haven't missed any of the details out, and regardless of where you are from, much love to all you fans. I narrated this book as asked purely for the Resident Evil fans and their pleasure. Spoiler alert, and keep your kids away because I'm about to make a swear word and put it on here. Okay, for all the shit posters and trolls, the reason why no other names show up on the narrated by is because every single voice, including zombie voices and all forms of narration that could be done by one person alone, are done by me, a fan, for other fans and purely for the other fans and their satisfaction and entertainment and materials to go on with. Okay, that was that bit over and done with. I'm sorry about that, but that's for anyone who tries to really have a go at us again, because I'm just trying to make something and create something that the other fans like. Okay. Right, before I go on to character voices, I'd like to stress and apologise in advance to anyone from Alabama. It states that the Forest Space accent is supposed to be Alabama twang, and I totally butchered it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it, so I've had to come up with a crossover. I just couldn't do that voice. I'm very sorry. Okay, here are my thoughts on the character voices. Albert Wesker. I didn't want to really upset the person who did the mocap for Wesker, any of the people who did the mocaps for Wesker, because they were really great voices, but I seemed in the end to come between a cross from what I could explain as Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles and Resident Evil 5. So when I sort of hit that pitch and tone, I decided to keep that for Wesker. That's the longest one and hardest one to explain. Jill Valentine, I went for the legendary Inez, but I went for a sort of deeper and throatier version of that, whoever Inez is, because nobody seems to know. Chris Redfield, I based it basically on a dude who's seriously going to start going on the roids soon. So basically a Resident Evil 5 Chris is what I went for. And I made his voice get rougher as the book progressed because it explains in the book that he gets tired. Rebecca Chambers. For some of you who've listened to the original book, I decided to keep the original voice for Rebecca Chambers because me being from Liverpool, taking the mickey out of a Scouse girl's voice is just easier for me to do, so I just stuck with that because it goes in quite well. It's a very unique voice compared to everyone else's. Barry Burton, not the Mila Jovovich version of the films, the real Barry Burton, the fans know, is built like a tank. So I gave him the most testosterone based macho man, masculine voice going, and I made it a little gruff because he's one of the only people with a beard in the original game, so that was my reasons for him. Brad Vickers. I nearly went with the Rabtoons version for Brad Vickers, to be honest. I couldn't really put a voice together for Brad, so in the end I've just gone for something a little shakier and squeakier, with him obviously known as being an abject coward. Chief Irons was the surprising one. I wanted to give Chief Irons a really unique voice, so I managed to find what could only be described as an over-the-top, greasy, boisterous, semi-British voice, which hopefully will really irritate people because Chief Irons is supposed to be really weird and irritating throughout all the series. Joseph Frost. I tried to make a quick and aggressive voice for Joseph, but I don't know if it really clicked or not. And lastly, the diaries that are in the book. I made fake American voices, considering this is made to be a fake town in USA, although if it is a real town it's probably not in the USA, but I don't know. Anyway, that's that. Nevertheless, I hope you really enjoyed this adaptation. My favourites are Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 3, because most people like Resident Evil 2, just thought I'd point that out. So I gave a serious effort to this, and I really hope you enjoy this adaptation. Anyway, I hope this has been worth your while. I'm glad if you stayed to the end. For all the fans, I hope you really enjoy it. Take care now, bye.